Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and salam Malaysia Madani. Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Fazli bin Wasrib. I'm from IPG Campus Keningau, Sabah. Today I would like to share some findings from my research entitled The Primary School Science Flipped Classroom Implementation Frameworks, a Case Study. The flipped classroom I will share today is one of the findings from my thesis in 2021. Today's presentation will be divided into 8 segments: the introduction, research problems, research objectives, methodology, findings, discussion, research contribution, and conclusion. Now, the introduction. Firstly, this study was initiated due to limited literature regarding the primary school flipped classroom. Everyone knows that flipped classroom is beneficial, but the information on how it is implemented in primary school is limited. Flipped classrooms in secondary and tertiary levels of education indeed promote active learning similar to primary school. As far as we concern, teachers play an essential role in ensuring learning is effective and motivating. Innovation and evolution of educational approach in the Malaysian context are proliferating. Malaysian educators are trying to comprehend the current needs in the education system by adapting and adopting the best teaching and learning practices from other countries. Now we move to the second segment, the research problem. Teachers must enrich many learners, not just a few. Tan 2022. The reduced learning time in primary science lesson resulted in the students' limited learning experience. This situation somehow affects the quality of learning interaction among the students and the teachers. Students and teachers should have ample time for discussion. Students should also have more time to ask questions while learning and promote reasoning and problem-solving skills. Some students appear to be less interested in the way of teaching and learning at their school. The teacher's teaching approach affects the learner's learning interests. They are prone to boredom and less interested in the one-way teaching-centered approach practiced in some schools. Studies on activities done in a flipped classroom are still limited. Up until today, information on the teaching strategies integrating digital resources is a gap that needs an answer. Kaviza 2020. Therefore, it is crucial to investigate the successful flipped classroom practices observed among science teachers in Malaysia. Now the third segment. The study is conducted according to 4 objectives. Number 1, to observe the teacher's teaching practices in primary science flipped classroom implementation. Number 2, to observe the learner's learning experience through a flipped classroom approach. Number 3, to inspect the affordances and assistance in implementing the primary science flipped classroom approach. And the fourth objective is to inspect the barriers to implementing the primary flipped classroom. Now, in this segment, the methodology comprised the research design, participant, data collection, and data analysis. Firstly, this study is qualitative study based on the multiple case study design. 4 schools were selected and 4 science teachers and 20 learners participated in this study. These participants were selected both randomly and purposefully. The data is collected through sessions of observation, document analysis, in-depth interviews with the teachers, and FGD, focus group discussion for the learners. I initially did the single case analysis for the data analysis, which analyzes the case from case 1, 2, 3, and 4, coding and the transcript, and forming the themes after finishing with the case 1, followed by the second, third, and fourth cases. Done with the single case analysis, I proceed with the multiple case analysis. This procedure includes comparing, contrasting, and combining all themes across the 4 cases to conclude the major findings, which results in the suggested framework in this study. Now we move to the findings, which comprised the pre-class, in-class, post-class, affordance and assistance, and barrier and mitigation. Now these are the major themes resulting from the cross-case analysis I've mentioned just now. Let us briefly see by one here. During the pre-class learning session, the learners understood learning tasks, did the information searching activities, and the group members' learning material preparation. And in the first session, the pre-class learning session comprised the teacher planning the teaching activities and managing the learning materials. For in-class learning sessions, the learners showed positive learning engagement while doing the group work activities. Secondly, the teachers applied the 6 teaching methods in the in-class learning session, which is managing the in-class learning materials, giving frequent teaching guidance, conducting the in-class assessment, and giving moral support to the learners. During post-class learning session, the learners answered some learning questions. Thirdly, the teachers conducted the post-class learning assessments and remedial and enrichment activities. Some affordance and assistance were based on the teachers' and learners' flipped learning experiences. The affordances of the flipped classroom approach are in terms of the teaching affordance, the learning affordance, and the facility affordance. Meanwhile, some crucial aspects assisted the learning session. The crucial aspects comprised assistance from the teachers, family members, and peers. The teachers assisted the learners mainly in the classroom during the in-class learning sessions. The family members supported the learners' learning activities at home during the pre-class learning sessions, and peers supported each other throughout the 3 learning sessions. The teachers faced 3 barriers while implementing the flipped classroom approach. The barriers are irrelevant internet information, minimum learning guidance at home, and unpredictable learner behavior. Based on the teacher's experience, the learners could fail to complete the information searching activities because of insufficient learning guidance at home. The internet provides a broad scope of information that can cause the learner to become demotivated to learn and understand the related learning content. Besides, some learners' behavior was difficult to predict and handle by the teacher. Hence, the teachers applied some ways to mitigate the barriers. The solutions are providing specific learning guidelines or template, encouraging learners to share the learning materials, and promoting positive learning engagement. These themes were developed based on the cross-case analysis by comparing and contrasting the themes across the 4 cases. Here is the flipped classroom framework developed from the themes discussed just now. The flipped classroom cycle started with the pre-class sessions, followed by the in-class and post-class session. This flow is forming a cycle. Next is the external factors. Such as the barriers with some mitigation plans, and also the affordance and assistance. These external factors are influencing the flipped classroom cycle. In other words, the teacher must be aware of the external factors to succeed in the FC cycle. Moving to the next segment, which is the discussion. Now, based on the 4 research questions, 4 issues arise from the findings. They are the teacher's role, the learner's role, the flipped classroom affordance and assistance, and the 4th one is the flipped classroom barriers and mitigation plans. Firstly, the teacher must give clear instruction to guide the learner's prior information, apply the flipped learning cycle, give moral support, and emphasize active learning activities. On the other hand, the learners need to understand and prepare the learning tasks before the in-class activities, participate in the active learning activities, complete assessment, and lastly, do the task presentation. Issue number 3, the flipped classroom affordance and assistance lies on the information resources, the use of ICT as additional tools, and the assistance is from the teacher, family members, and peers. The 4th issue is about barriers and mitigation. The teacher must provide a specific information searching instruction or template, become empathize, give positive compliments, and unconditional moral support to all learners. For the time being, this research has contributed to the flipped teaching and learning framework as presented today in this presentation, flipped teaching and learning guidelines that have not yet been published and presented at any conference, and the FC card or the flipped classroom card as a preliminary innovation product that you may find out and read further in my published paper in the ResearchGate web. Last but not least, this study concluded that the framework suggested 3 phases of flipped classroom, which are influenced by external factors. This study also inspected some crucial aspects of implementing flipped classroom in primary science school. Moreover, further study is needed since the findings only apply on the 4 cases and may vary and difference in other schools. Before I end this presentation, I would like to highlight that in primary school, the use of flipped classroom could be beneficial in exploiting its potential to fuel up the 21st century learning and 4th industrial revolution through education. The initiative is crucial since primary education is fundamental to the tertiary and higher education levels. This is all for today. I return the session to the chairperson and I thank you all very much. Assalamualaikum.